Witches, Tiffany here on Bewitching.Bemused. Today I want to discuss meditating and getting through other concentration and visualization practices if you have ADHD, ADD, or other concentration difficulties. This was a question that was posed by Vanessa Talbot in my recent live stream, and if you were there or if you've watched it, you know that at the time I said, hang on, let me do a little bit more research into this because I do think it's a very important topic. I feel like this is a really common issue for people with, like I said, ADD, ADHD, manic thought cycles, anxiety-driven thought processes, as well as chronic pain. When you're dealing with any of the above, or just in general, a very busy mind, it's very difficult to stay focused and concentrated while you're doing meditation and just in general, because our mental focus is a very important aspect of spell work. Vanessa did ask for anything that would help, whether that was tips for meditation or herbs, spells that she could do, but I do want to focus primarily on meditation here. Now, this may sound a little contradictory saying, well, to be good at meditating when you have ADHD, you need to meditate. But actually, several studies have shown that a daily meditation practice does help to lessen the symptoms of ADHD, ADD, and other general focus issues. So I want to take the time to give over some tips that will help with meditating with ADHD in order to strengthen that ability to meditate and strengthen that ability to concentrate in that you need for daily activities like spell work, reading, being in the moment, being able to fully participate and listen to another person in a conversation. Basically anything that requires concentration or the mind not wandering. And of course, meditation is a practice that helps you to strengthen that skill. The first and probably most obvious tip, of course, is to know your triggers and try to work around them as much as possible. You can meditate and practice mindfulness exercises literally any time of the day or night. And of course, almost anywhere. If you focus better in the evening than in the morning, then make sure to set aside some time in the evening to practice your meditation. If you have chronic pain that's very distracting and it tends to flare up throughout the day and it's worse in the evening, then get up 5 to 10 minutes earlier in the morning to make sure you have enough time to meditate then. If light triggers migraines, then meditate in the dark. If too much silence lets your mind just kind of go crazy, then meditate outdoors with a window open, let some sounds in. I will dig into that a little bit later, but like I said, knowing your triggers and avoiding them is kind of an obvious one, but just plan ahead. I have heard it said that some people say don't meditate right before bedtime because you might get sleepy. And yeah, that might be the case. You want to avoid falling asleep while you're meditating, but just figure out your own workarounds. But here are my main tips. So many people believe that meditation is solely sitting down, staying still, minimum 30 minutes, absolute silence, no thoughts in your head. This, of course, is absolutely not true. So first, let's talk about time. If you can only manage to meditate and really focus and keep your mind as clear as possible, or focus on one thing for 2 minutes at a time, then do 2 minutes at a time. And don't beat yourself up over it. Even 1 minute is better than 0 minutes. Meditation takes practice. The more you do it, the better at it you're going to be. So if you start with 1 to 2 minutes, you will eventually be able to build up to longer lengths of time. It's the same thing I would tell any of my clients in personal training. Just start off doing what you can. If you can only manage 1 minute at a time, then do that 1 minute every day, because eventually you're going to see that turn into a minute 30 seconds, and then 2 minutes, so on and so forth. The myth of having a clear mind. Okay, if you can manage to have a mind that is completely devoid of all thought whatsoever, then that's amazing. Keep doing what you're doing. However, for most people, it isn't about squashing out thoughts. In our day-to-day lives, our minds tend to wander. We'll be doing some monotonous tasks and we'll be thinking, oh, I gotta get this and that done later. And then it'll jump to what you gotta do the next day. And then something will trigger a memory. And then that'll make, it's just, our minds jump from topic to topic. It almost seems nonsensical, and half the time we don't even realize it's happening. It's kind of like a nervous tick or a bad habit. Like, I have a really bad habit of chewing the insides of my cheeks, and I'll be driving or I'll be on my computer and I'll be doing it, and then I won't even realize that I'm doing it until an hour later my jaw is sore. That's how wandering thoughts work. So you can't realistically expect yourself to just sit down and suddenly have a mind completely devoid of thoughts. You're just setting yourself up for frustration and failure if that is the bar you are setting for yourself right away. The purpose of meditation is to try to focus on one thing or clear your mind as much as possible, but usually you can do that by putting your attention on just one thing. Whether that is your breathing or a number countdown or something you are gazing at in front of you. And then when a thought pops into your head, don't get angry at yourself. Don't go, oh, I give up. I just screwed up. I failed. Just know that that's supposed to happen. That thought pops in your head. You just acknowledge that it's there, let it go, and return to whatever it was you were focusing on. That's how it's supposed to work. And even if it takes a little longer, which it probably will in the very beginning, you'll be on a runaway train of just wandering thoughts, and then you'll go, oh wait, crap, that's not what I'm supposed to be doing. And that's okay, because like I said, this is a skill that is meant to be practiced. So the more that you do it on a regular basis, the quicker you will start to realize when your mind is wandering, and the quicker and easier it will be for you to let those thoughts go. Silence. Absolute silence, or just listening to nature noises on your earbuds, is not an absolute necessity. For people with extremely busy minds, sometimes silence can almost make it harder to focus. And sound, whether it's something in headphones or just listening to the world around you, can actually enhance your experience when you're meditating. So there are a few different things that you can try regarding sound. You could try guided meditation. There are thousands of tracks available for free. You can find on Spotify, you can find on YouTube, you could just Google it. There are even meditation audiobooks you can probably get from your library. You can also find them short or long. You can go on YouTube and Google 5-minute guided meditation if you've only got 5 minutes to meditate that day. Music can also be a great source of focus. Pick an instrumental song and just allow yourself to breathe in rhythm with it. You could also try just tapping your knee with one finger to the beat of the song. That helps you focus both on that feeling of the tap, but also paying attention to the rhythm, to the beat of the music. That right there gives you a single point of focus. You can even pick a song with lyrics in it that you know very well and just focus on those lyrics. Just listen word for word what's being sung. Sometimes I like to just open my bedroom window and meditate listening to the sounds of the world around me. All you have to do is close your eyes and pick out one sound, because we're so used to hearing this cacophony of sounds that we tend to tune all of it out. So try to just distinguish one sound out of that din of noise. Pick that out and focus on it for a little bit. Doesn't have to be very long, just a few seconds. Then let it go and move on to the next sound. Maybe you start with the wind. Listen to the wind, listen to leaves rustling in the breeze. Then move on to traffic sounds. Hold on to that for a minute, just picking out that specific sound for a while and tune the rest of it out. Then let it go. Move on to the sound of a bird nearby or a dog barking. Or if your neighbors are outside talking, just like eavesdrop on them for a bit. Just allow yourself to pluck something out of that chaos of noise, focus your attention on it for a bit, let it go, move on to the next. Stillness. When we think of meditation, most people think of sitting down, legs crossed. But you can also lay down, you can stand, it's totally up to you. Whatever's comfortable and that you can maintain for an extended period of time. Just if you're laying down, try not to doze off. However, you absolutely do not have to be still when you meditate. Yoga and Tai Chi are two really great examples of moving meditation. Now, while I highly recommend these as wonderful practices, keep in mind that if you're a beginner, you might want to practice one of those in addition to a separate meditative practice. Because if you're like me and you're first learning these movements, you don't know all the terminology for everything, you might find yourself not very focused or relaxed because you're too busy going like, wait, what is the teacher doing now? Okay, so I'm moving here, she's putting her right foot over, okay, that sort of thing. So just something to keep in mind. But in general, you can pick out any sort of monotonous movement, like going for a walk or a light hike, and turn it into a moving meditation. All you have to do is focus on the movement of your body and nothing else. Well, don't trip, like watch where you're going. But feel how your joints move, how your arms swing. Feel your chest rising and falling, inhaling the breeze. And some days, if I can't get outside because I don't have the time or it's raining, I just use my stationary bike for this. You can also try a non-monotonous movement like dance. Do it alone. Go to your bedroom, close the door. That way you can just let your guard down. You don't have to feel self-conscious. You can just focus on the music and allow your body to move naturally with it. And like I was talking about earlier with using music during your meditation, just make that your one focus. Just focus on the beat of the song, just allowing your body to naturally move with it. Finally, we have mindfulness practices. This is sort of similar to moving meditation, but it is just incorporating being in the present and mindfulness exercises in your day-to-day life. Studies have shown that if you do this for a minimum of 15 minutes a day, you're getting about the same results and benefits as you would be getting from just sitting down and meditating. And all it requires is bringing your awareness to the present moment. So what I recommend you do is that several times throughout the day, just take stock of each of your 5 senses. So sense of touch. Feel your clothes on your skin, the ground beneath your feet, your weight pressing your feet into the ground, the seat underneath you. What's the temperature of the room? Are you holding anything? Are you touching anything? Feel your chest rise and fall with inhalations. What can you smell? Is it raining outside? Maybe you're picking up on the sense of the fabric softener in your clothes, or maybe some lotion on your skin or your aftershave. Maybe you have a candle burning. What are you looking at? Study its colors, its texture. Is the lighting in your room dim or is it bright? Have you been staring at a screen for too long? Maybe you need to take a moment to look outside and enjoy the sky. Are there any lingering flavors in your mouth like coffee or tea, something that you just sipped on? Maybe toothpaste or you're chewing gum. What are you hearing? Just like I said earlier about picking out those everyday outdoor sounds of the world around you that we normally tune out. Start listening for things. Maybe a clock is ticking nearby that you don't normally even notice. Is it windy? Can you hear the dishwasher running? Try to find a few daily tasks that you already do that are just, monotonous. You're doing them and your mind is wandering, and turn it into a mindfulness practice. I know I like to do this when I'm showering and when I'm brushing my teeth. And another really good time to do this is during at least one snack or meal of the day, if you're able to kind of get that time alone. Maybe just for that one time, if you're eating alone, you don't need the TV or a podcast playing in the background. Food is such a great way to include all of the senses. What is the temperature? What is the texture? Can you hear it crunch? What are the colors of it? Can you see steam rising off of it? Can you pick out each individual flavor with every bite? Okay, witches, that's it for today. I really, really hope this was helpful. I would love to hear your thoughts about it or what practices you do to help focus a busy mind down in the comments below. Hit that thumbs up if you are so inclined. Other than that, I will see you all on Sunday with a brand new video.